2022's training camp for the Philadelphia Eagles doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a whimper. That sucked. I was kind of looking forward to seeing a second joint practice and seeing this secondary line up against a talented receiving corps. But it is what it is, I guess, y'all. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. What's up, Cerebral football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. Hey, real quick, if you're new to the channel, maybe the first, second, third time you caught my content and you enjoyed today's discussion, hey, we just crossed over 6,200 subscribers. We're on a journey towards 7,500. I would love to add you to the Cerebral football community. Just need you to hit that subscribe button to do that. To my OG subscribers, you already know what this part of the video asked for. Hit that like button, smash the thumbs up button, help me spike the algorithm and get this in front of new people that we can potentially convert into our little community here on YouTube. All right, y'all. We are officially out of the training camp portion following today. From what I read, it seemed like they did kind of an improvised walkthrough down in Miami as a result of the Dolphins having a stomach bug that kind of backed them out of practice, and you know, that whole ordeal, guys. Who knows? I'm not too sure what happened there, but nonetheless, obviously would have been more ideal if we could have gotten more reps here, game-like reps for this team to analyze what's going on. But all in all, hey, at least you got 3 practices in against another team. You get a chance to see that minus our starting outside corners, we are a little shaky here, right? I think that's a good place to start this topic off. Let's just talk for a minute. What I saw, if you go back to that clip I showed you guys yesterday, and we were talking about the Tyreek Hill 11-on-11 drill, how he caught that corner kind of route there. What I saw was, in my opinion, a drop quarters, or you could argue that's a cover 6 concept, a quarter, half. I still think personally it's more of a drop quarters, but this is why you need D coordinators and the secondary coaches to kind of fill you in on exactly what they're trying to do here, because there are some nuance to things. This is what I'm going to say. I am concerned that without Slay in the game, without Bradbury in the game, when you get an explosive player like Tyreek Hill, we saw what Gannon kind of reverted to. And I'm not blaming him, because I'm not too sure what else we could have done. But what he ended up doing, guys, is he played that drop zone, and he backed Epps. If you split the field up between the strong side and the weak side, basically the offensive right, defensive left would have been the strong side, and then the opposite side would have been your weak side, where weak side basically was where Zach McPherson and Anthony Harris were. When you looked at that strong side, you can see you got a shallow zone defender there in the corner. And then you got your nickel cornerback, who is the guy that's kind of in conflict. What they mean by the defender in conflict. He's the one who's got to play off of either that out route or that corner route. He's got to decide, play up or play back. And that's where the quarterback goes with the ball, right? The big issue that I saw with this play, and this could carry forward to a discussion into the season depending on circumstance, was just how deep they had Marcus Epps off the line of scrimmage for this. Now, you're not going to line up against Tyreek Hill every week. You're not going to be in a situation where you line up against Tyreek Hill and you got, a guy like Zach McPherson on one side, and then you got Kerry Vincent Jr. on the other side. That's not ideal circumstances. I'm not too sure exactly what Gannon could have done, other than to say that maybe give Epps a chance to make a play on the ball, maybe bring him a little closer. You don't need to have him almost 20 yards off the line. I think it's a little too deep, even though I really respect Tyreek Hill's, abilities. When is it time to learn? Right now is the time to learn. I mean, who cares if you get beat in these type of scripted scrimmages? This is the time to give Marcus Epps the chance to perfect those type of things. I'm not happy with that portion of things, right? I think the players executed the assignment correctly. I didn't see anything from Kerry Vincent. It looked like he was in the right spot for the shallow zone. I think that despite what people think about Avonte Maddox, I think he made the right decision, right? I mean, the right decision is you see the out route. You know that's probably the primary target. That's the route you're supposed to jump because you have safety help behind you. You release the corner route into the safety. If you don't and you fall back and you play the corner route, maybe you get lucky and maybe, Tua just presses the football and you're able to make a big play on the ball. But if he doesn't do that, he stays scripted with what he's supposed to do and he hits that out route, now that's a blown coverage situation. That's not an offensive coordinator just beating your defensive coordinator. So play call beating play call. That's player not doing assignment. So me personally, when I look back on that play, I thought looking at Zach McPherson, looking at Anthony Harris, looking at, Marcus Epps and Avonte Maddox and Kerry Vincent Jr., I thought they executed what they were supposed to do in the play call the right way. I just thought the play call was very easy to defeat. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of drop quarters. And this is not a shot at quarters coverage, because there's a right way of doing quarters coverage, in my opinion. It's just I don't like dropping to the field, a spot on the field, and saying, play this patch of dirt. I'm not a huge fan of that, guys. Don't get me wrong. There are systems and there are players that do that extremely well, right? This is where you hear people that have the ability to match and mirror really well, so they can match and mirror the movements of players. And then also they have the ability to pattern recognize, so they can see route concepts before they happen. Those are the types of players that excel in that type of scheme. And to be fair, those guys were in the right spot. I just think that a good enough quarterback and a good enough play caller, man, it's easy to pick that kind of crap apart. And that's kind of what I'm closing camp with, is that final practice, that image in my head, it leads us to the question of, we made a lot of advancement. We got some good, corners out there now, right? I mean, we got a little uncertainty in the safety room. Outside of that, the pass rushers have been improved. We went out and got Jordan Davis to help us, on first and second down and potentially give us a pass rush, right? You got Milton Williams coming into his second year. He's probably going to refine that pass rush. Javon Hargrave's a stud in terms of the pass rush ability. Josh Sweat's going to be a guy that I'm looking forward to develop and start pushing 9, 10, 11 sacks out of, right? Hassan Riddick had a 3-year stint in the NFL that makes me think he's going to be quite successful here. Coverage, man. Coverage has to match the pass rush. The pass rush and coverage can't be out of sync. I don't know that I feel that way right now. It's tough to say that, right? The other thing I'll say here is, the offense has made a lot of improvements. I see that obviously getting A.J. Brown's going to make a huge difference in this offense. But I got to be honest, as great as A.J. Brown has been, and boy, I can't wait to see A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith on that field together. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert, I think, are going to make a heck of a 1-2-3 kind of read combination going on here. But Zach Pascal, hey, I was high on him during the free agency period. I kept linking him to the Eagles. I kept saying that I really liked the relationship he had with Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. They kind of really got a lot out of him in Indianapolis, and it kind of fell apart for him when they left last year. He might want to link back up here again. And man, he's been better than advertised. I may have undersold him to you guys, to be quite honest. I know I took my victory last with Kaiser White, but man, I got to be honest with you. Zach Pascal has been pretty good. I mean, that signing's exceeding what I was expecting for you guys to see here. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that good. Add that in with Quez Watkins' ability to get vertical. There are components to this offense I think are going to be quite good. Now, I want to preface this by saying that there are some areas of concern still, to be quite honest. We're going to have to see how that right guard kind of works in tandem with, Lane Johnson. Can we get that kind of up and running? Can Isaac Seumalo get back from that injury? Can he stay healthy for the entirety of a season? Can we get stability on that right side of the offensive line? And then also, I do think that we kind of lack a contact bounce back for this offense. So when you're trying to do things like preserve the lead, third down and short situations where you need a guy just to really go get you some yardage from time to time, goal line situations, I don't think Kenny Gainwell or Boston Scott are particularly bad at those roles. But I wouldn't say that they're, great at it, per se. I think there's some potential there with Gainwell, although he's not a big guy. I think he's got really good vision. And I think he's very, very decisive in his decisions on those cuts. But I would like to see a bigger back when we're trying to protect leads, when we need pass protection. That's the other part of the game. When you need to really pass protect, you need someone to get decleated for coming in there. I'm not too sure that's on the roster, guys. And I got to be honest about that offensively, kind of coming out of camp. Little concerned. I'd like to see that. But I'll close this video out, and I'll do every video until we kind of get to the regular season. I'll give a hot take. Since we're talking roster construction, I don't feel positive that we're going to make a deal before we finalize the 53. It could happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying that it's kind of tough. We seem back up against it for that. But I will say this. I'll go ahead and predict that the Eagles, before week 1, will make a deal for a running back with experience. I prefer it to be a contact balance back. I don't know that that wish will be fulfilled. I hope it's that. I do think that after the initial 53, you will see 4 running backs carried on the roster somehow, some way. I don't know if it'll be by trade, via the waiver wire claim, whether we might just sign somebody through free agency before the final cutdowns are finalized and put them on the roster. I tend to think it's going to be after the initial 53 set. Then you'll have that fourth running back at it. But that's my hot take, is that that's coming down the pipeline. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, personally, is what I think. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about Gannon and the coverage? What do you think about, the situation with having a contact bounce back and, like, the situational roles for that type of player? Let me know your thoughts, guys. All right. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.